It's Saturday after the election. Yeah. You know, I'm not in a good mood right now. I haven't been for the past few days. But one thing that makes me happy is these little felt birds from Target. Another thing that makes me happy is Chappell Roan. So we're gonna... Chappell Roan's here. Me editing this video. Chappell Roan's here. I'm gonna go... Cool. I'm gonna make this little felt bird from Target look like Chappell Roan. So if you'd like to watch that, don't do anything, just keep letting the video play. I don't know. So I'm gonna go for her look on the album art of Rise and Fall of the Midwest Princess, that like blue dress with the, you know, iconic curly red hair and little tiara and the roses. This is actually a Christmas gift for somebody, so I will have to give it away at the end, which will be very sad, but that just means later I can make another one with maybe another one of her outfits. Comment down below which of Chappell Roan's many looks would you like to see recreated in Target felt bird form. Anyway. So this is my victim, I mean bass. His name is Heiwa. They all have names. This is a Japanese word for peace or harmony, Google tells me, which is great. We're gonna need that in the coming years. So, we have our boy. The first step is to peel him. Oh. Oh no. He's bald under his coat. Guys, he's bald. So once I had a freshly peeled bird ready to go, I began working on the dress, and it was pretty difficult to figure out how to make a one-shoulder dress for a creature that doesn't have any shoulders. I had this light blue satin ribbon on hand that was like the perfect color and material, so I used that instead of buying any new fabric. So I just played with it and pinned it in place until I had something that looked good, and then I just hot glued it into place. Yeah, spoiler warning, a lot of this is hot glue. In my defense, the actual like clothes that were on it from Target are also just hot glued on, so I feel justified. So the next thing I wanted to work on was her hair, and of course I needed to get that iconic red color just right, and oddly enough the best one I found was from the Eddie Bauer line of yarn at Joann's. But in order to get the curly texture, I crocheted a little swatch, just doing single crochets and a slightly smaller hook. And then I took that piece, soaked it in water, and let it dry overnight, and then I was able to unravel it and it maintained that curly texture. I cut that length of yarn into smaller pieces and then began separating out the individual plies of the yarn to create thinner strands of hair. I made wefts by hot gluing strands together on my quilting ruler so I can then peel them off and then attach them to the bird. While I was tempted to go for the Ben Franklin tonsure look, I decided to be a bit more faithful to the cover art. After I'd glued on almost every weft of hair, I realized I should paint out her scalp to make it look more full, so I did that very quickly, and then once the paint was dry, I glued on the last weft. And if you're ever customizing your own Target felt bird, what you want to do is glue that last piece of the part on in the opposite direction, and then fold it over. That gives you a nice clean part and doesn't show any of the glue at the end of the wefts. That's a tip I picked up from years of watching Monster High doll customization videos. With the hair all attached, I was able to begin styling, and I found this photo from the cover art photo shoot that shows the back of her head. Of course, I found this after I finished the bird, so I basically pulled her hair into this kind of half up, half down bun thing, and then took the length that was hanging down and kind of gathered that up at the ends, and then kind of swooped those over to the front. So that created the little fringy bits at the bangs and added more volume to the back. And with a few more additional tendrils, her hair was all done. So on the album cover she has this kind of light pink feathery thing. I assume it's like a boa, but you can only see a little bit of it, so I decided to make that into the bird's tail feathers. So I went to my local craft store and went to the feather boa section and found a few loose white feathers on the floor and put those in my pocket and painted them pink with a light acrylic paint wash. Once they were dry, I hot glued those together into a little bundle and then glued that to the tail end of the bird. And now I could really begin to get into the details. I used more watered down acrylic paint to give her her bright blue eyeshadow and bright pink rosy cheeks. I added some tiny pink rhinestones to the neckline of her dress. And then I made her tiara out of some gold jewelry wire. I sketched out the shape first so I could have something to follow, and then just bent it to shape with some needle nose pliers. I completed her makeup look with some tiny winged eyeliner because, of course, she needed winged eyeliner. Next I worked on the sash. I roughly estimated how much ribbon I would need, and then heat sealed the ends. The only white ribbon that I had enough of on hand has this little gold edge, so I just hand sewed that edge over. I sketched the name out onto a piece of paper and then used a makeshift light box to transfer that to the ribbon with acrylic paint. I made her necklace using just some regular hand sewing thread and a gold seed bead that I had left over from my Space Witch project from Halloween. The next thing to make were her arm warmers, and of course birds don't have arms, so I had to do a little bit of extra patterning. When I was peeling the base bird, I made sure to save the wings, and then I used those to create the template. I cut those out of some white cotton scrap fabric that I had on hand, and then painted those with glossy Mod Podge. This helped create the satiny texture and also prevented any fraying. I cut out teeny tiny stars out of this holographic silver paper that I had. I gave the wings a quick little trim to clean up the shape, and then hot glued on the arm warmers. Or wing warmers, I guess. I glued on the little stars, and then added more sparkle with a silver felt pen. Next, I felt like she just needed to have some long sparkly talons. It just felt right, so I gave her a little pedicure using the same holographic silver paper. Next I started working on her little bouquet of roses. I wanted to just buy those little ribbon roses that you can get at the craft store, but I could not find any, so I had to make my own. So I have this extremely blurry shot showing how I did that. I'll try and link a video that I used if you're curious. I added a tiny rhinestone center to each rose and then glued them together into a little bouquet, and then was able to glue that in place under her wing. With all of those details attached, she was finally done and ready for the reveal. I forgot to film an outro for this, so you're getting voiceover wrap-up, but I'm really happy with how this whole thing came out. I think she's beautiful. I love her. My sibling-in-law, who I made this for Christmas, loved her. They cried. So rest assured, Chappell Roan has gone on to a good home. This was really fun. I really enjoyed making this. This is like kind of a smaller, quicker project. I was able to get this all done in about a weekend, so it's just kind of like a fun little thing to do. The felt birds from Target are only like $5, so if you're interested in doing this kind of thing, I highly recommend. The bird that I got is from their Christmas collection, but they do these for most holidays, so highly recommend giving this a shot if you're interested. It's very fun, and I would love to see what you create if you do and want to share it. Like I said, I would love to do more of these, so if you have any other ideas for other Chappell Roan looks or other looks entirely I could do, I'm thinking of getting one more of these and then making a pattern off of that so I can have that and be able to like sew and stuff like a little plushie version instead of having to keep buying these and taking them apart, because that just kind of feels kind of wasteful. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you could consider leaving a like or a comment, and if you want to see more stuff from me, you could check out the rest of my videos on my channel and consider subscribing. I would love to have you. I've got a lot of fun plans for the new year, and hopefully I will have the time to actually complete them and share them with you all, but I'm very excited. But that's all I have, so thank you for watching. Bye!
My name is Chappell Roan. I am your dream girl's dream girl. I am your favorite ornithologist's favorite ornithologist. And I'm gonna serve exactly what you are.